and welcome to A Punk with Toys. Today we're going to take a look at, you should probably see him, the Joe Classified B.A.T. But anyway, before we get started, if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. Follow the channel, helps out with everything I explained on the last video. But today we're going to talk about the Joe Classified B.A.T. GameStop did send one. I ordered two. I understand there are problems. I understand a lot of people didn't even get it shipped. What is kind of a bummer is when they charge you for two but only ship one and you have to call about it. So I did see this on Facebook that someone else had the same thing, and I just had a bad feeling it was going to happen to me, and sure enough, only one came. So if you only got one B.A.T, better get on the phone with GameStop. Is actually real easy, and they said they'll ship another one out, but considering I don't think they expected so many people to order these, you might be waiting a little bit of time. But as long as we get them, that's all that matters. Also, look on Amazon. They went back up on Amazon along with the Alley Viper, which now looks like it is meant. They're saying that's going to be here right after the beginning of January. So anyway, we're going to talk about this. We're going to compare them to the G.I. Joe O-Ring B.A.T, which you'll see he is pretty close. So anyway, let's take a quick look at our box. And this artwork is, once again, amazing. They have him battle damaged right here. And when you look at this one here, you can clearly see he's really been through hell, which, again, great artwork. And then you have the back. And I did find something odd about this when I was looking at it. I actually had to go check out the rest of my boxes and take a look at this and go, huh. If you look on here, remember, this is number 33. Didn't mention that. Number 33. Here's the back of it, but it's actually missing Lady J, Flint, Major Blood. This is actually from the Lady J, and you can see that blood is there. You have, I forget where is that. Oh yeah, Flint right there. And they worked in Lady J right there. Not on this one. This is the same card art that came with the Zartan. So, makes you wonder if this was maybe supposed to come out a little bit sooner. Who knows? Either way, we have this guy. And I know I've said it a bunch of times. This guy is amazing. I've said this about all these classified figures. This one I truly do mean it. And when I compare him to the original O-Ring 3.75 figure, you're going to be like, wow, they did a marvelous job. But to start off, I'm in Michigan, so it is cold here. I don't know if it's like this everywhere else, but this guy needs a hot bath. There is no doubt about it. From the joints right here, I wasn't even sure that this one right here, get it right there, I wasn't even sure that this bent. It looked like it was just one piece, which I thought was pretty cheap. I had a hard time with the knees, the actual lower part of the knees here, bending. He's even still tight right now, so I might even have to bathe him a little bit more. But these joints are very stiff. I got that one to bend a little bit. The head. So this is the head that comes on it. All right. And you can hear it pop off. But the battle damage head, man, nothing. Now, I did soak it in hot water and put it on there, and it popped on, but I cannot get it to pop on right now. So it seems like there might be a little bit of quality control with this. Or maybe it's just because it's 27 degrees here in Michigan. I'm not positive, but either way, you want to bathe this guy in some hot water for probably a good 45 seconds to a minute. Not too long, all right? I know this is actually a big thing that just got on around the internet with Valivers and different things like this, and the NECA, and there's another guy. I don't know. I don't really care. I'm not getting into that crap. I'm just explaining what's going on with these figures and the best way not to damage your figures. So anyway, I'm going to quickly look at him here. All right, you see he's got his chest piece. He has had the two different chest pieces. I do find kind of odd looking considering it does pop on. I don't know, it seems kind of weird. It seems like bland since our original one is clear. So I don't think I'm actually going to be putting it on here too often. I think I'm actually going to just leave it off or battle damage. But you have his backpack, his different hands, his weapons. So anyway, enough of this. Let's take a look at this figure, closer look, compare the two, can compare them to the other classified figures so you can see how big he is and how small he is compared to another one. All right? So let's take a look at this. All right, so here we take a look at it. First thing first, you can see the bat is much bigger than Snake Eyes. Then you look at Roadblock, and honestly, I don't think I realized just how big Roadblock is. And he's actually bigger than the bat by a good margin. Yeah, so by a good margin, he's bigger than the bat. And then if you take our Snake Eyes, you can see just how much shorter he is. But that's the comparison. I brought Major Blood up. You can see how big Major Blood is. I actually wasn't sure. I actually pulled him off the shelf to make sure that his arms weren't the same. And since there's two mechanical arms, they definitely are different. So enough of that. Now let's get to the comparison, which I think is what you guys actually enjoy. And here is my O-Ring 1986-85 bat. And if you're interested in the video I did on how to quickly fix this for ones you don't have, I'll leave a link in the video. But quickly here's our box. Again, like I said, this is an older one. No Lady J, no Flint, no Major Blood. I'm sure it's probably missing someone else. So it says that maybe that this was supposed to come out sooner and they just changed the number, which is number 33. And again, artwork is absolutely wonderful on this. I do like when you don't have to do faces because I think it gives a better idea, or you can draw better. I can't draw well. Other people can draw real nicely. And here's this guy just completely damaged. I think he looks absolutely wonderful. So, all right. So this guy does come with a load of accessories. So we'll just start with the two chest pieces. So you have your nice clean chest piece. All right. Again, it looks kind of weird. I think it would have been better if it was clear. I doubt I'll even be using it. And then you have your battle damaged one, which actually does kind of, it is cool that they threw in something like this. So your figures can be fighting and make it look like they're damaged. And then here's the head. And this is wonderful. I mean, I really do like this. This is going to give you some other things that you can do. Here you have this battle damage. It's this eye that's poking out. It does look absolutely wonderful. So let's get to our comparison of our two figures. And let me just say, they took a look at this figure and they said, he's perfect. Let's just make him a little better in 6-inch form. So, starting straight from the chest piece here, the mechanics are a little different through there, but they kept the same color scheme where you have this red or brownish going straight through, and then you have your little yellows right here. As you can tell looking at these two, I mean, the same. They started up here. You have your yellow right there. It follows completely down. They both have different grenades. You have your belt buckle, which is silver. The holster comes down and wraps around. Even the silver buckle right there is the same. Oh boy. And then you have your boots, which look the exact same, other than they put silver here, but they kept the yellow, the orange. His go all the way around, but you still have your little pocket right here. Right here, you have your leg piece, which they have the pockets, and they look very similar, almost the same. Even on the belt, you have your little pocket right there. And then you get around, pull this off. Honestly, I didn't even look at the back. I completely forgot to take that off. But you look at the arms here, and they look very similar. Very similar. All the way to the point where this is kind of textured. And you have the same thing where you can kind of see the mechanics. And then you have your little half rolled up sleeve. Why does a robot need sleeves? Who knows? And then you get right to the back here. And this isn't painted silver, but when you look there, you can see the mechanics. And then you can see the mechanics on here also. So now we get to the face sculpt. Oh, I'm sorry. We forgot the Cobra symbol, which is on this arm. They just kind of moved it to the side, which is perfectly fine because that's normally where it would be. So as for the head, so the back of his has little vents right here, which is different than our original O-Ring figure. But when you look at the heads, they kept the shape the same. You have your little slits right down there, which is absolutely awesome. They did that. And they even kept the mohawk. They did slim this down, which, let's be honest, does make it look much better. But all in all, this is a wonderful replica of the figure. As for the backpacks, they obviously added some to the backpack by adding this piece, so you're not cramming everything in up here. Now, I don't have all three pieces. I am missing, which I believe is the flamethrower. I always thought that was the gun, but it looks like it would be the flamethrower. I always thought that was, but either way. So when we take a look at these here, you can see they both have mechanics on it, which is really cool. They even follow, they even follow across here to make it look very similar, black, but what they did was they added this piece on so you can put the hand on here or one of the claws or weapons. And then they gave, I don't know, these nunchucks. I believe they're supposed to be some sort of gas, or who knows exactly what they are. But again, absolutely wonderful. So here is our flamethrower, and it looks nice. And I do remember how the old one looked, and it does look very similar, but unfortunately that's the one I cannot compare it to. Pop off our claw. And you're going to see the claws are the same. They're not as silver. They're grayish, but look at them. They're the exact same. They really did a wonderful, wonderful job of making this figure a 6-inch version of our O-Ring. And I couldn't be happier with that. This here, which is the laser. These things are pretty tight to get in here. So you may want to soak this in hot water. I did not soak this or these. So, and we pop these out. Now these obviously look a little bit different. They definitely made this way more, it's even thinner than the original here. So that's the only one that's really different, as you can see. But it looks the same still. And I believe this is like the laser cannon, or can't remember exactly what it is. But I always thought this was the flamethrower. Who knows? I guess, hey, you know what? We're kids, we can do whatever we wanted. And then you have the hand. Again, hand here. Slide this off. Now the only difference is, the original here, we slid them on like this. And our versions, they pop out. So here we go. And again, with this one here, both hands are removable very, very easily, so it's nice. So we look at the articulation. He does have the butterfly, and he really doesn't have anything. He has this on it, but he doesn't have any type of vest or anything. So he's actually able to cross over a little bit better this way. This one, not so much, because you have this piece here. It does have the drop down hips. Okay. Which makes it better, so you can get in some different poses. But again, this is a little bit restricting due to the strap that's around the leg. You're going to want to be very careful again with the knees, as I mentioned before, because, you know, I'm struggling right now. There we go. So I think after you move him a little bit, just like most of the other figures, you know, he can technically kick his own ass. Again, this one here, if I remember correctly, this one actually bent a little bit easier. So they're starting to loosen up. Instead of, you know, messing with them when I got them earlier today. This here, again, I thought when I first moved him, he only went like that. I actually thought that this was one mold, which I thought was pretty chintzy on Hasbro's part. But again, I soaked him in water, and boom, there you go. He's gonna, you know, move completely different, which is actually kind of cool. He's a robot, so it's okay to have different joints in different areas. Let's get these hips back in place. He does have his ab crunch. He moves side to side. You know, his head rotates, his neck rotates. So pop it off here. You get the neck moving. Again, when I did soak this in water for like about 30 seconds, hot water, it did pop on properly. There we go. But putting too much force on it does definitely worry me. So that's something that's a little concerning with him. But all in all, and here's the sidearm. I did have a hard time getting this in. It's a very tight fit, but he has a completely different side piece. This is the first time we've seen this. It has a little light on it. I'm not sure why an android would need a light on the front of his pistol, but, you know, thank you. And once again, you know, I didn't even mention, they all have little holes for blast effects, including that and the flame. So they definitely were ready for you, ready for us to start doing some, you know, some designs, some artwork, some photography with them. Wonderful posing. I really, really do like this figure. He may be the closest to the original that we've gotten yet, which is not a bad thing when you look at how absolutely wonderful this figure was. All right, let's wrap it up because you guys have listened to me ramble on for long enough. All right, so there you have it. G.I. Joe Classified B.A.T, the Battle Android Trooper, also known as the Bat. Can't say I ever really called him the Battle Android Trooper too much until I was an adult and we were just referring to him. But again, this is a wonderful, wonderful looking figure. You are going to have to do some work on him. In my opinion, maybe it's just the plastic they're using. Maybe it's because it's 27 degrees out here in Michigan. That's how he came out of the FedEx truck. Can't tell you. I will say it seems like GameStop is the one that is getting them. So if you did order them from GameStop and you get shorted, yet you were charged, make sure you call them. Right? Just Google GameStop customer support. Phone number comes up, and I was able to get a hold of them within 5 minutes. Talk to someone. This is going to sound crazy too. I talked to someone who clearly was actually in the U.S., so they spoke English, and you were able to get through. And that's not insulting anyone, but we all know a lot of times we call customer support. We get someone that's out of the country, and it's hard for them to, with the language barrier. I had no issues other than he shorted me, and you charged me. So I guess it's kind of like a HasLab, right? They charge me and I'll get them when it's, when it comes. But either way, make sure you get your figures. Make sure you don't get shorted. And stay on them. Who knows how long it's going to take. But as long as they correspond with me, shit happens. I'm cool with that. And it wasn't a problem. But again, I did see it on another Facebook page where they talked about just one, but they charged them for two. And I just had a bad feeling it was going to happen to me too. There was another guy that ordered like 100 of them and only got like 33, and he's waiting on the rest. That's crazy. It's crazy if you're going to order 100 figures. God, I couldn't even imagine I'd be single by far the rest of my life if I was ordering that many figures. I think I ordered a good amount. So, anyway, this is your bag. Here's a backpack. Honest God, this guy's awesome. He really, truly is. I can see why you want 3, 4, 5 of them. He's going to be a cool army build. But just remembering it, people, when you start army building these, there's going to be Cobra officers to army build. There's the Red Ninjas that people want to army build. There's the Vipers, and there's more Vipers coming of people to army build. The Alley Vipers. Remember this. When you start looking at these people that want to army build, and I don't know how big your homes are. I don't have a big home. But when you look at a lot of these other properties like Transformers, He-Man, and different things like that, like there aren't army builders to buy. Star Wars has obviously all the stormtroopers, biker scouts, different things like that. That's another property that has army building galore. G.I. Joe, the Cobra have so many army builders. So don't just like blow the load on like just one figure unless you absolutely love that figure. That's just me. I'm not going to spend your money, but I'm just going to say, if you have 30 Cobra troopers between the infantry troopers and the Cobra trooper, and then you have 10 Cobra officers, and then you have 30 Bats, and then you have 30 Alley Vipers, and who knows how many Vipers, and there's just so many. Just remember, G.I. Joe is all about army building. So many. So you don't have to overdo it, because eventually you're going to have too many. And it sounds crazy. I'm not really saying you can have too many toys, but it does happen. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up because I'm definitely rambling on. If you want to watch the video, put a link into it. And if you're missing the chest piece on our original O-ring, I did that yesterday in anticipation for this guy. So I'll put that link in there if you have any O-rings that you're missing the chest piece. And you just want to fill it in so it doesn't look stupid. Again, I appreciate a like on the video. Like I say, smash that bell. Give me a follow. I appreciate it. Obviously, with the Alley Vipers coming and all the figures that are going to come, we can have all kinds of reviews. I really like comparing these figures. I don't see it done a lot. I don't see where people actually compare them. And let's be honest, when I was comparing like this Roadblock to version 2, there were similarities. Same with Snake Eyes, similarities. But honestly, when we got to Major Blood, then we saw Major Blood. And there, again, all these videos are up there. That's when you actually saw that change, where I believe the G.I. Joe team at Hasbro said, hey, big guys, this is what we told you they wanted. We stayed true enough, but that's not what they wanted. They wanted, the collectors wanted figures that looked like the O-ring figures, but modeled. They want them modeled up. They want to make them look better than what they were, but as soon as you look at it, you can point out exactly how they said, hey, this is what it was. A prime example, I'm rambling on, but a prime example would be, is if you look back at the 70s Dodge Challenger, and then you look at the Challenger now, you can see that progression. You look at the late 80s Grand Cherokee, and you look at the Grand Cherokee now and you followed all of them, there's this progression, and you can say, wow, they all look the same or very similar. You can see how they change, and that's what you're getting with these new figures, and I absolutely love them. I can't wait to see how the Alley Viper looks, because as of right now, it looks like they just took that and they said, hey, how can we make our O-Ring figure better? Anyway, I'm rambling on. As I said, give me a follow, thumbs up, thumbs, whatever it is. Yeah. You want to follow me on Instagram, A Punk with Toys. I'm always posting new stuff that I get, stuff that I may not be, doing reviews on. So, anyway, have a great night. Happy toy hunting. Hopefully your GameStop orders come through. Hopefully your Big Bad Toy Store orders start shipping. I've seen that. They're on Amazon. They just went back up on Amazon. So I'm telling you what, right now Heads are probably just pumping these things out. So anyway, I'm out of here. Have a good night. Happy toy hunting.